today's episode, I'm sharing all about the ministry of homemaking, why it's important, and the difference between housekeeping and homemaking. Welcome back to the Making It a Home podcast. I'm your host, Molly, from the blog and YouTube channel, Plum Branch Home. In this podcast, I talk all about being a faith-driven wife, living a home-centered life. I hope to inspire you to do the same. Let's dive into today's episode. So I have been homemaking for over 4 years now. My husband and I got married when I was 20 and he was 21. He was my high school sweetheart. I had always expected to get married after college and meet my husband in college, but God blessed me with finding him in high school, and it's the biggest blessing of my life. I love being married, and I've always known that, and I've always wanted to be a wife and a mom my entire life. I'm not a mom yet, but I'm excited for it when that day comes. But I have just always known that I wanted to be a mom and a wife, because that you get to serve others, you get to take care of other people, you get to take care of a home. But in college, I lost that. In my whole life, have kind of been, our society has pushed feminism on women, and you've seen it everywhere. Like, you need to prioritize your job and your career over your home life. Your home life is less than your career life, and that is not at all true. And after I started surrounding myself with women that started prioritizing their home life, women that prioritize being a mom and a wife over the career path, I surrounded myself with those people after I got out of college, after I traveled for a little bit, and I had been through different kinds of people. I've been like friends with different kinds of people. I had been around different kinds of people, and I found my group of women, the women, especially here in Tennessee, that prioritize homemaking and prioritize being a mom and a wife and prioritize doing homesteading. Some of them don't, but these women are all over the world, all over the United States, not just here, but in my little tiny community here in Middle Tennessee. I realized I was surrounded by that, and it made me feel so whole. There was a reason when we moved here that I felt different. I felt like I found my place. I found my people. And that's why I found women that were willing to prioritize homemaking and the ministry of homemaking and being a wife and taking care of their home, taking care of their children, being a mom. They prioritize that over their careers. And most of them have a job of some sort. Most of them have a career, but their career is second to their family. And some of them don't. Some of them are stay-at-home moms, and that is beautiful. I love that. And it's just so exciting to see. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for about half of my childhood, and I clearly remember when she stopped working half days and she stayed home with us. It was the most exciting feeling ever. In the summertime, she was home all the time, which meant in the mornings we could stay at home, and we didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to pack ourselves up and go anywhere. We had homemade lunches. My mom always made a homemade supper, even when she worked part-time. But when she was home, I don't know, it was just so fun to have my mom at home. She guided us and led us through life as a young child, me and my brother, and that's beautiful. And so I've always carried that with me, how a stay-at-home mom and a homemaker can really impact the people around her. And so now as a wife, I really see the difference in the impact. And whenever I first got married, I did not see that, and I was not doing that. So I was a little bit of a feminist, meaning I prioritized my career over my family life. And I did that for about 2 years, and I realized that's not for me. That's not what I wanted. That did not make me happy. I found that I did not like shoving dishes and laundry and cleaning the house and making meals into the little tiny corners of my day. I wanted those to be the forefront of the day. I wanted making homemade meals and taking care of our home to be the front, being a wife to be the front, the first priority. And that's where making your home a priority comes from with Plum Branch Home, my business. So it took a lot for me to get here to this point of being a homemaker and prioritizing it. I have not always done that, and I deeply regret it. I wish I would have started doing this right away in college. It makes your home more peaceful. It makes your life more peaceful. Even if you have a full-time job, you can be a homemaker and prioritize that first. So it's a beautiful thing. The ministry of homemaking starts in the Bible. It is talked about so much of women making their homes a priority, taking care of their homes, being a wife, being a mom. It talks in many, many verses about why homemaking matters, the ministry of homemaking, being a mom and being a wife, and how to be good ones. And that is where all of this foundation comes from. I started reading the Bible more in depth about a year ago, and it has really changed my life. And so once I started reading about homemaking, everything was just kind of clicking. And I know God was sending me a message, and I know God was taking all of my experiences and leading up to this. At one point in my early 20s, so right after I graduated from college, there was a year of just God taking a lot out of my life and everything that I knew, including my career path, including my ego, including my pride, and everything that was holding me back from going full in as a homemaker. Even though I have this business, it's different. He was taking all of the things that was making me look at homemaking as less than, and he was taking that away. And that is the biggest blessing by far that I've ever experienced. At the time, I wasn't very happy about it. I didn't understand what was happening. Everything was going away. Everything felt hard. I was having an ego death. If you've never heard that, it's your ego is dying. You're dying to self. You are focused on serving and loving others more than yourself. And that was a very, very, very hard process. And once that happens, it's not like you never have to deal with that again. You have to make a choice of you're going to serve others and love others more than yourself all the time. And it's not just I don't know, it's really different and hard to explain. I don't really know the words, but it took that for me to be able to be a homemaker and prioritize on homemaking and prioritize on being a wife, because this world looks down on homemakers and looks down on homemaking because they don't understand it. And that can be really hard. And so, just prioritizing it has been the best thing. And that's why with Plum Branch Home, I focus on helping other women and encouraging and inspiring other women to prioritize their homes, because it's such a beautiful thing. And I want other women, especially young women and newlyweds, to know that they are not the only ones that are trying to do this. And I want to give you guys some ideas, inspiration, recipes and ways to detox your home. So that is where all of that comes from. But the ministry of homemaking, it starts in all of the small parts of your day. I hear a lot of women complain and hate dishes. But what changed my perspective on it was, because I used to be I do not want to do the dishes. But then I came across, I think it was a quote or something, and it said, think of every dish you do as, when you're doing the dishes, every single plate that you're washing, you are washing those so the people you love in your home, even if it's your husband, even if it is just yourself living there, you're washing that so you can serve another hot meal on it, another meal made from scratch. It's a form of love. It's not a chore. And so whenever I read that and I changed my mindset around it, I really realized what homemaking is. You are serving those in your home. You're serving the ministry of homemaking. You're serving God. If you live by yourself, you are serving God by taking care of your home. Your home is a place where God can come and bless you. Your home is a place where God can bring you peace. It's your refuge from the rest of this world, where you can feel happy and safe and warm, and everything is welcoming, and you get to decide that. And that's what homemaking is. And so when you prioritize your home, you are not only living a better life, but you're also making it a lot better for everybody that lives with you. Whenever I made the switch to doing just my business, which I was not making a bunch with my business. I was actually making nothing when I switched over, but we decided to really do more budgeting so I could focus on homemaking and focus on this blog. And by doing that, it allows me to really focus on our home. But we work both at home, so whenever I'm done working, I take our dog out on a walk and I get some time in nature. I work out, and then here at home, and then I will start doing the laundry or cleaning the bathrooms, whatever I need to do that day to keep the house clean. And then I get started on supper. And by the time I'm done with that, my husband comes home, because after he's done working, he goes to the gym and gets to work out. And instead of doing all those house chores and worrying about that, he's able to go into the gym and really prioritize building his strength and taking care of his body, and just like I get to do here at home. But that allows him to go do that, and I love that. That's a form of serving, and he's always so grateful and so appreciative. So that is why homemaking matters. It really impacts the people around you and makes everybody feel loved. It makes for our case, my husband provides for us, and it makes his job a little bit less stressful when he doesn't have to cook a meal and clean the house, because it's already done because I'm doing it. And it's just a form of me showing my love to him and showing my love to God. And so that is why it matters. And then I just wanted to really quick touch on the difference between homemaking and housekeeping, because I didn't understand this for a long time. So The ministry of homemaking is making a house a home, making a space feel safe and cozy and welcoming, making fresh homemade food that's wholesome, and cleaning the bathrooms with non-toxic products. It's the act of serving others. Housekeeping, on the other hand, is just doing the chores. So if you can kind of see the difference, I didn't for a long time, and whenever I did notice the difference, and I learned about it, I think I watched like a YouTube video or something of someone else explaining it. It really clicked and made me realize, wow, like homemaking is beautiful. Homemaking is a special thing, and people like to look down on that and housekeeping, but it's not the same thing, not at all. So if you are a newlywed, or maybe you're a homemaker that's been doing it for a while, maybe you are a new homemaker, just know that prioritizing your home will always be an amazing choice, and being a homemaker is an amazing gift and job that you get to do in the world. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take that role from you. You will always be that person that's taking care of your home and taking care of your family, and that is the most beautiful, most wonderful job in the world. You are a crucial part of this world, and when you have people living with you and you make your home a safe, peaceful place, you are creating that space where they can feel loved and comfortable and just kind of de-stress from this whole world, and then they can go out and be a better person and share more love and joy and kindness to others rather than being stressed out in their own home. So that's what you're doing as a homemaker, and I just want you to know that it is an inspiration and it's special, and never stop doing it, and never let anybody make you feel bad about being a homemaker. It is not less than. It is honestly the most important job in this whole world. So I hope this is a very helpful and fun podcast episode. I just thought it was important to talk about why homemaking matters and what the ministry of homemaking is, because I never understood it, and now that I have a good grasp on it, I think it's time that I start sharing it with the world. So I hope to have encouraged you, and I'm so glad you joined me for today's podcast episode. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Go make your home a priority.